Hey there, everybody. This is Drew at Excellent Cool Games, and we've got a couple of videos for you tonight on the eve of Zendikar Rising release tomorrow, Friday. Throughout this week, we've had the pre-release products, the pre-release packs available, and the draft booster boxes. Tomorrow, we're excited to add two different commander decks. The one in front of you, the Land's Wrath deck, with Obuun, the Moldaya ancestor, as a new commander. And then there's the sneak attack deck with Anowon, the Rune Thief, another new commander. I'm going to try and get them close enough so the camera can see both of those. So we'll have those tomorrow. We will also have, we'll still have all of the pre-release packs and the draft booster packs and the draft booster boxes. And we will be adding collector booster boxes, which we're super excited for. That does leave two products still that we're waiting for. We knew that. There have been production delays, and actually we're really fortunate. We feel really fortunate to get what we've been able to get. So we'll be waiting for set boosters yet, and we are waiting for bundles. Set boosters we know are actually coming, so that's exciting. And then bundles are going to come in at some point afterwards. They haven't even really given us a date yet on those. So, but tomorrow, like I said, we've got the couple of commander decks and the collector booster boxes and packs that we are excited to add. What we're doing tonight is I'm going to be doing 4 different videos. Sorry, 3 or 4 different videos. We're going to be going through the commander decks, and we're going to be opening a couple collector booster boxes, just because they are really awesome, really exciting, and I kind of want to showcase them off. So, but this first one, we're going to do the commander decks. So these, we're gonna start with Sneak Attack. This is a blue and black deck, and the back of it says, "Seize power once more. Choose your commander and overcome both friend and foe in this definitive multiplayer Magic format. Ally with Anowon and lead an army of rogues to take what is rightfully yours. The larger your collective, the more your influence grows." Anowon, the Rune Thief, was formerly a renowned mage and scholar. His reputation and fortune have diminished in recent years. With the appearance of the ancient core skyclaves, he knows his return to glory lies deep in the ruins, and he will do anything to find it. Alright, so Anowon is a vampire. He was in the original Zendikar block. I could just tear this, but there we go. Wanted to try and preserve it on some level. So, the inside of this includes a deck box, a nice full-sized commander deck box. I will be using it, I've got my own deck boxes, so I'll be using it for card dividers, but it's a really nice full-sized deck box. Comes with a life counter, really cool. Goes up all the way to, there you see it right there, 40 life. And then we've got, I think, a 20 life total on the back. Yep, the back side has a 20 life counter, and then that. Here we've got just an intro on how to play Commander. Teaches you all the basics, talks about the command zone, talks about your starting life total. And then on the back, we've got a cool display about Anowon. Pretty cool. Alright, so we're going to get that all out of the way. Let's get to these cards. So, Anowon himself is foil. Let's see if, I wonder if that foil is going to make it really hard for the camera. Yeah. Oh, man. Sorry, guys, I'm trying, but I don't think it's going to work. Here's what he says, and I'll back him up maybe. I think that's too far away to read, but other rogues. He's a 4-mana, 4 casting cost card. 1 blue, 1 black, 2 colorless. He is a legendary creature, a vampire rogue. Other rogues you control get +1/+1. All right, whenever one or more rogues you control deals combat damage to a player. So one or more. So this can happen. Basically, you have to deal damage to each player if you want this to trigger multiple times. That player mills a card for each 1 damage dealt to them. If the player mills at least 1 creature card this way, draw a card. So if you're attacking multiple people per turn, on your turn, you could draw, you know, if you have 3 opponents, you could draw 3 cards if you manage to get each of them to mill a creature. That's kind of neat, kind of cool. And that's based on damage dealt. So want to have high power when you're attacking. All right, let's see what's in the deck here. So these come with a full commander deck, which is really neat. Great. It's like a $21 product. That means that it is the cheapest way to get into Commander. It is a deck ready to play. Aetherize, Distant Melody. Here, I'm going to turn them around here. Factor Fiction, I like that card. Fairy Vandal, Invisible Stalker. Oh, yeah, that's a rogue and it can't be blocked. Magic Fairy, Marine Prowler, Master Thief, Military Intelligence, I like that. Nightveil Sprite, that's kind of fun. Open into Wonder, Slither Blade, Rogue. So lots of rogues. Shapeshifter, which counts as a rogue. Endless Obedience. More rogues. Price of Progress, yep, good card. Rise from the Grave. Not a rogue, but oh, fun. Zulaport Cutthroat, a rogue. I like this card, Extract from Darkness. Here's one of the cool things that comes with them. Arcane Signet. This is a new card since the Brawl decks. It's basically a new auto-include in most Commander decks, so the fact that it comes with one, kind of the same thing for Commander Sphere. Very good card. Sorry, I'm yawning. Oh, I like Stolen Identity. Very good card. Okay. Gonti, nice. That's a very, very good rogue to add. Ingoric's Wake, solid Commander card just to own. Necromantic Selection, Night Howler, Ogre Slumlord, Sepulchral Primordial, Consuming Aberration, really fun card. Gets very, very big. It has power and toughness equal basically to the number of cards in people's graveyards. So you can imagine with multiple opponents how big that's going to get. Lazav Devmir Mastermind. Decks built off of him are really, really fun. I should find some way to like get an angle thing. I bet I've got a business card holder that I'm gonna incorporate into future videos. Notion Thief. Una, that's a good include. Silumgar's Command, nice. Sig River Cutthroat, that's a fun one. Okay, yep, some things to buff power so that you start milling a lot of cards. And that's why Lazav is in the deck too, because you're essentially a mill deck, you want to see cards to the graveyard, and then Lazav can become cool stuff. Yep. Okay, we've got some Ramp, Dimir Signet, another card that's going to kind of go into your what I would call like a forever collection for Commander. Mind Stone, same thing. Check that out, Soul Ring. That's a huge Soul Ring and Command Tower right there. That's a great reason to buy one of these if you're a new player. These are forever cards. Then we get into the lands. Got some nice blue-black lands. Myriad Landscape, really pretty art. Here we have a Merfolk Windrobber. That's fun. So this is a flying Merfolk Rogue. 1/1. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, that player mills a card. So he mills in addition to Anowon's ability. And then you can sacrifice him to draw a card. You can activate this only if an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. Probably going to be very easy. And what's really neat is that this card in some decks could, like, it's a 1/1. There are some specific decks that talk about bringing back really cheap creatures. This deck could potentially be used in a lot of Commander decks as a sort of like return loop situation to continue drawing cards. You know, maybe, I'm not saying infinitely, but, you know, an extra card every turn due to some kind of neat interaction could really build up. Sure-footed Infiltrator. Okay, so you can tap another rogue you control, and it can't be blocked this turn. And then whenever Sure-footed Infiltrator deals combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card. Cool. Here, I wonder if I'm going to put this there. I wonder if I do that, if they're... No, they look even blurrier, even more blurry. Yeah, let's see if I just reset it completely. Sorry, I don't mean to mess with the video in the middle of the video, but this is trying to get it to focus for you guys. I don't know. We may have no luck. Maybe these aren't even magic cards. Maybe this is a Pokemon video. Soaring Thought Thief. 2 mana, human rogue, flying, flash. As long as opponents have 8 or more cards in their graveyards, and opponent has 8 or more cards, your rogues get +1/+0. And then whenever one or more rogues you control attacks, each opponent mills 2 cards. So just more and more and more mill in the deck. Then we've got basic lands. You know, everybody needs a few more basic lands. We got some tokens then, some rats, some goblin rogues, some germs, some thopters, and that is Sneak Attack. A deck all about attacking your opponent, doing combat damage, and milling them because of how many rogues you control, and rogues doing combat damage, and all that cool stuff. So that's a neat deck. Alright, so now we got that one tucked away. Now we're going to check out Land's Wrath. Yeah, this thing really doesn't want to focus. There. I feel like that's better. I'm not going to press my luck. All right. Where do we want to open it from? Let's go from here. Let's go from this side. There is no right way. It's just the right way is to tear it. The right way is to hold no reverence for packaging. The only reverence for packaging you should show is making sure that you dispose of it properly. I think, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I'd love to learn. I think in cases where things have this much printing on them, that and when they're this thin, I think recycling this is hard. But obviously, we've got some cardboard here. That can be recycled. So, all right, deck last. We've got our, just like before, we've got our life counter. Pretty cool. We've got our deck box. Full-sized Commander deck box with Obuun. Planeswalker symbol. Deck name. Another Planeswalker symbol. Pretty cool. And then we've got another intro to Commander. And a description about Obuun, Moldaya ancestor. Here, I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to try and read it upside down. Are you ready? All right. So, to the Moldaya nation of elves, the spirit world, and no, this is too hard, and the mortal realms are equally important, equally real, and equally present in daily life. The spirits of the dead are full-fledged members of the Moldaya nation, and Obuun is first among them, so he's dead apparently. He is the key advisor to Speaker Hazan, the leader of the nation. Even though Obuun has been dead for centuries, his influence is in no way impeded. On the contrary, the ancient elf spirit wields an unparalleled mastery of both the spirit world and the forces of nature. Speaker Azan's influence is heightened, there's just a little bit of glare there, is heightened by his close relationship with Obuun, but he would lose his honored position if he were ever seen disagreeing with Obuun or disobeying his commands. Whoa, all right. And then it shows off what set boosters are. Pretty cool. All right. So what we have here is we have an elf spirit. That's pretty rare. Those are two creature types we don't really see too much together. So let's see. Is this one gonna be any better for us? It's really not. What if I just get like super close? No? Oh, it's like it's so close. Well, I'm not gonna try it forever. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll have to work on my camera skills. Obuun Moldiah Ancestor. This is also a 4-mana casting cost creature. It is a red, a green, and a white mana, and then 1 colorless. He is a 3/3 elf spirit. At the beginning of combat on your turn, up to 1 target land you control becomes an XX elemental creature with trample and haste until end of turn, where X is Obuun's power. It is still a land, so it becomes a land and a creature. Until end of turn, then it just returns back to a land. Landfall. So whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. So kind of the goal here is that you have Obuun, who starts as a 3/3. Lands can become as big as he is, so kind of ideally I would say in general you're trying to put counters on Obuun or make him very large. Certainly you can move those 1/1 counters to other creatures instead. There is definitely, and I think we're going to see it in the deck, there are definitely reasons maybe why you will put them in different places, but he is an excellent target most of the time. So we'll put that there just in case it, decides it's gonna, no, but it's too far away. All right. So now we're going to crack into Land's Wrath. So I'm expecting ways to make creatures bigger. And maybe ways to, get extra lands. So here we've got Absent Falconer. Each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it has flying. Well, that seems like, what that does is pretty obvious. Banishing Light, so some removal, some protection. Condemn, more protection. Crush Contraband, more protection. Elite Scale Guard, puts counters on things. Core Cartographer. That's like legitimately good. It is 4 mana, so that's pretty expensive. But the fact that there's a battlefield and you search for a library, you search your library for a Plains card and you just put it on the battlefield, that is not a thing that White does very often. Here, we'll put them up there. Even though it doesn't matter. Retreat to Emeria. Acidic Slime. Yeah, more 1/1 counters. Beanstalk Giant. Nice include. Precocious Route. I really like that card. Yeah, so we've got some land ramp, some landfall creatures. That makes sense. Evolution Sage. This is a great include because this has a land enters the battlefield under your control, so it has landfall basically. Proliferate. So the whole idea here is you get even a single 1/1 counter on Obuun, and now every time a land enters the battlefield, Obuun's counter triggered ability happens, and so you can put that 1/1 counter somewhere. And Proliferate also happens, so you can up by 1 any counter that's already in existence. So a really, really powerful interaction there between those two cards. For Wanderings, more land ramp. Fertilid, more land ramp. And here's the new art on Harmonize. I've seen it maybe once before. Sorry the video's so blurry. Harrow, more land ramp. Inspiring Call, buffs creatures. Keeper of Fables. I really like this card. Here, I'm going to try and reset the... see? Maybe? Yeah, it's just not... No luck today. I don't know if it's... Oh, ho! There we go. We figured out the magical distance. Whenever one or more non-human creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. So this, like, turns your deck onto hyper mode when it comes to dealing combat damage. Here, let's test it. Let's see if I put him at that. Nope, it's just not meant to be. It's because of that foiling. Look at how it messes with it. Yeah. All right. Well. Okay. We'll keep her going. Coney Hard Expedition, land ramp. Kadama's Reach, land ramp. Retreat to Kazandu. Land ramp, land ramp, land ramp. So basically what we're looking at here is either cards that put more land onto the battlefield or cards that put counters onto things. Zendikar's Royal. This is a really good one. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 elemental creature token. So, I mean, you can just go nuts with elementals on the battlefield. All right, here we start getting into some of the new cards. Trove Warden. This is a 4-mana cat beast. It's a 3/4, and it has Vigilance. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, so it has landfall, exile target permanent with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard. So you start exiling things out of your graveyard. When Trove Warden dies, put each permanent card exiled with it onto the battlefield under the control of that card's owner. So presumably that's only going to be you. I don't know why they had to word it that way. But yeah. So I think the whole point here is that you can target lands that are in your graveyard, and when Trove Warden dies, just a ton of lands can come down. But obviously you can target small creatures and stuff like that too. So Trove Warden here. I'm going to try and get... What do you think, camera? No. I don't know. We got Geode Rager, 6-mana landfall creature. This goads creature's opponents. Admonition Angel, really nice. Landfall ability. Emary Angel, Emary Shepherd, landfall ability. We've got a board wipe in Hour of Revelation. We've got a board wipe in Planar Outburst. Sun Titan, my favorite white creature in all of Magic. Together Forever, Abundance. Mending of Dominaria. Multani, Yavimai's Avatar. Really fun. Giant elemental avatar. Nissa's Renewal. Triple land ramp. We've got Rampaging Baloths. Yep. To the Wild Speaker. Rites of Flourishing. Sylvan Advocate. This is just a 2-mana elf. Very, very small, unless you've got a lot of lands. Things like Living Twister. Mina and Dan. Omnath Locus of Rage. Well, that's cool. Sears Sundial, very good. Needle Spire, Ground Assault. Naya Charm. Yep. Treacherous. Yep, so we've got the same, Arcane Signet. Scareteller, that's a good one. Soul Ring. We got that Command Tower. Coruscant Verge, nice. Myriad Landscape, yep. Naya Panorama. So even there's a small focus among lands that search for lands, like fetch lands, basically. Okay, here we've got another couple, I think these are new cards. So Roiling Regrowth. Sacrifice a land, this is an instant, 3-mana instant. Search your library for up to 2 basic lands, put them on the battlefield, tap, and shuffle your library. So this is a safer Harrow, because you only sacrifice the land once the spell resolves, where Harrow that's an additional cost. It's not as good as Harrow, though, if you need those lands immediately, because Harrow's lands come in untapped. Roiling Regrowth, they come in tapped. Marasa Rootgrazer. There we go. And then basic lands and tokens. So those are the 2 commander decks. Really, really cool. Like I said, a great place for a new commander player to start because they're only about 21 bucks, and you've got a deck to play right out of the bat, right out of the gates. That's got strategy and has cards that interact with one another in a meaningful way. And that's really, really cool because it will show you as a newer player, or show your friend as a newer player, that building a commander deck is all about finding fun cards that work together really, really, really well, and building them into sort of a synergistic theme that all works typically around your commander. So really, really cool. All right, guys, that's it for video 1. Video 2 and 3 are going to be some collector boxes. So I will see you in just a moment for video number 2.